Justin, thank you very much. Chris Shear and Frank Isola back here in our Yes Network studios for the Brooklyn Nets post-game show. Brooklyn losing 131-87, a 44-point defeat to the Chicago Bulls, and not the way you want to start the final stretch of the season.
No, not at all. 24 games left, now 23. And this one tonight, you know, they were never in this game, start to finish. They were down 11-0. They never seemed to have any kind of team spirit, any fight to them. I know they scored a lot of points in the fourth quarter, but that's, let's face it, that's garbage time. The game was over. Do you realize with 2:44 to go in the third quarter, they were down 44. They had only scored 42 points up to that point. And in the first half, you pointed out, they had 10 field goals total in the first half, 9 turnovers. You're never going to win a game like that.
And the deficit, Frank, was larger than the points they scored for nearly 10 minutes of game time, too. I mean, that's really unheard of, is it not?
Absolutely. And I think what's going to happen here, too, and I get it, you could say it's only one loss, but, and they're coming out of the break. Chicago's also coming out of the break. That's one thing to remember.
Right.
But now the Nets, and they haven't played a lot of road games in this month. Their last road win came on January 22nd against Golden State. They've played 4 games, road games, since then. They've lost by 43 to Boston. They've lost by 18 to the Knicks, and now they lost by 44 to Chicago. And you mentioned in the pregame show, 9 of 11 of their next 11 games are on the road. So that's a concern. You could chalk it up and say, well, it's one game. Well, what about Boston a couple of weeks ago? And that was, I get it, that was with a much different team. But just, you know, within the last 10 days, they lost to the Knicks by 18 on the road. And they got a lot of road games coming up, including Sunday in Atlanta.
Yeah, and 10 of their last 13 are at home, Frank. But if you dig yourself a deep enough hole in those 9 of 11 games before tonight started, the Nets are going to have some work to do to get out of that hole. Take a look at the largest margin of defeat. Nets in NBA history, where it ranks tonight. The 44-point deficit ties the 13-14 team and also the 91-92 team.
Look in 78. So in October, they lose by 52 to the Rockets, and they play the Washington Bullets, now the Washington Wizards. So that's a month later, and then they lose by 49. At least they were consistent that season. I think the Nets are hoping that this is a bit of an aberration.
And you know, not to make a joke about it, but they were consistent also at the beginning of this game, and it was specifically the turnovers, Frank. They really just couldn't get anything going. There was no flow. You and I both discussed their body language when Jacques Vaughn called a timeout. It looked like some of the guys were winded throughout the first half. It just didn't look like this Brooklyn Nets team that beat the Miami Heat before the break.
I think you're 100% right. It looked like a team coming off of an All-Star break. That's not an excuse. You had a ton of time off, and remember, none of their players were involved in what happened in Salt Lake City. So all their guys should have been rested. I know everyone has other things to do. Cam Johnson talked about having to go back to Arizona to pack his belongings and things of that nature, but they were not ready to play tonight. This is a bad look for everyone, and now you have a day to kind of recover and get ready for Atlanta because it was sloppy. How about in the first half, the three-pointers? All they were doing was coming down, jacking up threes, missing. Chicago was getting the rebound, coming down to the other end and scoring on them. They only scored 29 points in the first half, of crying out loud. We've seen games this year, the one against Philly, where the game was tied at the end of the first quarter. They had 41 points. They didn't get to 40 points until the third quarter of this game.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing to watch throughout this game how poor the Nets were offensively, but a lot of the turnovers that the Nets had led to Bulls points, 14 turnovers, and this is that play you were talking about, Frank, with the out-hustle here, and this goes to what we were talking about. The energy just wasn't there for them.
That's Ayo Dosunmu just beat 4 Nets down the court. He blows by 2 of them, including Joe Harris, who's essentially, you know, his feet are in cement, and he finishes. I get the Nets got the basket at the other end, but that was more about Ayo Dosunmu, one player on the Bulls, beating 4 guys to the ball, getting a layup attempt. He missed it, but Zach LaVine chasing down the rebound. So you got 2 guys on the Bulls working that much harder in a game in the third quarter where you thought, well, if the Nets were going to have any chance to make it a game, give themselves a chance in the fourth quarter, it's going to have to happen early for them in the third. It did not happen early for them.
All right, Frank. Turnovers and rebounds wound up being our keys to the game, and the Nets were a -26 in rebounds, and as we mentioned earlier, 14 turnovers, and a bunch of them early in in this one.
Yeah, this was an awful sequence all the way around. Patrick Williams gets the steal, misses the dunk. The Nets come down. That's Royce O'Neal with a bad turnover. DeSumo comes down. He turns the ball over, or misses a layup, I should say. And then Cam Thomas wants to finish it off with, guess what? One more play. That wasn't a turnover. It's off on the Chicago Bulls. But just how sloppy it was. And this play kind of defined the first half. That's Andre Drummond, the one-time Brooklyn Net, picking Joe Harris's pocket at the three-point line and going end-to-end for the dunk.
And as you mentioned, we showed these at halftime as well. Kobe White doesn't capitalize there, but this continued in the second half, Frank. Another bad turnover there by Cam Thomas, this time leading to points by DeSumo. And Jacques Vaughn, I don't know what he would say to his team after this one, but we're going to find out in just a second how Jacques Vaughn's demeanor is when Megan Triplett and the rest of the media talk to him in just a few minutes. But you look at that, and that's what I was talking about. Minus 26 in rebounding. And rebounding is something that Jacques Vaughn, since he took over for Steve Nash, Frank, he's wanted to have the upper hand in rebounds. Yeah. And for a time, the Nets were doing that. But as you could see tonight, they were just demolished.
Yeah. And really, you know, Jacques Vaughn, who just got the contract extension when he took over, he wanted this team's identity. He had the two great scorers in Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. He wanted to be defense, and that's what they were doing. Look at what Chicago did tonight. They shot 56%. Everything came easy for them. There were times when Chicago started getting mixed up and taking bad shots as well. But for the most part, they came out looking like a team that wants to try to make a run over the final 20-plus games to try to get to play in the play-in tournament. The Brooklyn Nets look like a team that's going in the opposite direction. They have to stop this and stop it quickly. They're going to have to find a way to win on the road because the schedule right now in the month of March is going to be very difficult. All they have is road games, and a lot of them are going to be tough. Sunday, you get the Atlanta Hawks. The next time you play on the road is going to be at Madison Square Garden. That's the second night of a back-to-back. Not going to be easy.
Yeah, we talked about Patrick Beverley and Zach LaVine. They're back and forth. LaVine wanted Patrick Beverley to come to the Chicago Bulls. He was bought out. He got the buyout from the Orlando Magic, came to Chicago, his hometown team, and then Zach LaVine, he told him, you got to be more selfish. You got to take more shots. And he listened to him tonight, Frank.
The one thing about Zach LaVine, he can get in a habit where he takes bad shots, contested shots, where he gets you out of your offense, and then you have guys standing around. I thought for the most part tonight, he was taking good shots. The game was over by halftime, so it essentially didn't really matter what he did in the third quarter, but he has the ability to make those kind of shots. Even despite those knee surgeries that he's had, he's still a very athletic player, has a very quick step. I still wonder what could happen to him in the offseason, whether or not he could be on the move. But tonight, he certainly looked strong. He looked fresh. And I think for Billy Donovan, he's happy because his players, except for DeMar DeRozan, was involved in the All-Star game. I think he has to like the way that his team came out tonight.
Last 14 games against the Nets, 28 points for LaVine, shooting over 54% with 4 assists and now 20-plus points in 13 of those 14 games. So if you put Lonzo Ball into this mix, the Chicago Bulls are on the outside looking in. They're a playoff team right now.
I think they would be, and I think that's the one issue that they do have. But I think what also kind of settles down their team is the fact that they didn't make any major trades. So they know that this is going to be the group that they're going to have for the rest of the season. And the Brooklyn Nets have the opposite issue. They just added a new team, but, you know, to your point, you know, we were talking about it as we're watching the game. They did play very well against the Miami Heat and won the game as essentially a new team. So there's going to come a point where you can't just make excuses. You have to go out there and you have to get it done. And I think Jacques Vaughn's going to be so disappointed in what the team did offensively, certainly in the first half, but also defensively as well. And the one thing they've had under him, they've had a big-time fighting spirit. That road loss that they had in Philadelphia, which I get it, they lost the game, but they showed a lot of fight in that game. They never gave up. And I think tonight, too early, you saw heads dropping, guys were taking quick shots. It just weren't connected as a team. Kind of that fight, that team spirit that they had was missing.
Yeah, lots of threes, too, and they were not falling. We're going to step aside, take our first break here on the Brooklyn Nets postgame show. Plenty more to do here with me and Frank. When we come back, we'll have full game highlights of this one. We'll also hear from Jacques Vaughn, and we'll get some player reactions as well as Megan Triplett will be working the locker room. It's all straight ahead right here on Yes, and streaming, of course, on the Yes app. Game highlights between the Nets and Bulls here. We start in the first. Bulls get off to a hot start. Zach LaVine drills a 25-foot three. Bulls off to a 14-2 lead. A few minutes later, new addition for the Bulls. Patrick Beverley gets to the basket. Has a close shot fall with the foul and won his first bucket as a member of the Bulls. Chicago up by 11 after the free throw. Final seconds of the quarter. DeMar DeRozan, Dr. DeRozan from the clinic, starts to get going as he gets to a spot, hits the mid-range J, 20 feet out. Bulls lead 33-18 after one. Early second quarter, Andre Drummond gets the steal. Joe Harris loses the ball, takes it the other way for a big slam. Chicago extends their lead to 21 later in the second. Zach LaVine starts to put his fingerprints on the game as he gets a mid-range J to go. Bulls up by 25, and that lead would continue to swell. Early third on the first possession of the quarter. DeRozan gets the pass out of the post from Nikola Vucevic and drills another jumper. Chicago up 65-29. Late third, Nick Claxton misses the hook shot, and Frank, the Bulls start running.
Yeah, look at Sumo beating everyone down the court, and then Zach LaVine beats the rest of the Nets to the rebound for the putback dunk.
Under 2 minutes to go in the third, DeSumo finds LaVine and fakes the pass to the corner, rises, knocks down the deep shot for three. His 14 third quarter points there. Chicago goes up 90-46, and they cruise to the 131-87 victory over the Brooklyn Nets. LaVine with 32 points, 6 boards, was tied for the fourth largest margin of defeat in NBA franchise history for the Nets. Moments ago, Jacques Vaughn met with the media. Megan Triplett had the first question, and that game summary is brought to you by Infinity.
Okay. Jacques, I know when you look at that box score, this doesn't represent what your team can do and who they are, but when you look at what happened tonight, what do you attribute the outcome to?
Yeah, it was a little bit of everything. I mean, there's not too many areas that we were efficient or played well in, whether it was the fouling, the rebounding, the ability for them to get into our paint and get it to the rim, even transition. So all of the above. Another things that we talked about that we were going to take care of. So as a group, it's a great lesson for us. What we did over the break, were you ready to come out of the break? And so it's a lesson for us because we can't afford it. And this is a game out of 1 out of 24 that we lost. And so I'm looking forward to how we respond. But it's going to be a test of our collective unit of doing everything you possibly can every single day, off days, recovery days, in order to give your all to your team. And it's got to be unconditional, too. It's not if I play this amount of minutes, if I get this amount of shots. You have to be an unconditional teammate at this time of year because teams are playing for position, teams are playing to get into the playoffs, and so you cannot have nights like this where we play this bad.
When you have a team that is starting that story and trying to find their identity, when you give a team a message like that, how do you see the response, or how do you see them navigating a game like this as you start something new?
Yeah, it's going to be a true test, and not only the basketball piece, but the character piece of helping your teammate out, leaning into being a great teammate right now. And so that challenge of pulling for the guy that's next to you, and you might not be getting minutes, and he might be getting minutes more than you. And that's kind of where we are as a group. And I said that to the group, this is not going to be a one-man show. We don't have the one-man show. It's going to be a collective unit, and we got to understand that and approach the game that way and play with a nastiness, in all honesty, about us at the beginning of the game to set a tone and aggressiveness, and we just have to play that way. So it's an unfortunate lesson for us. I hope we learn the lesson extremely quick, and tell Coach Donovan to send me his practice plan from the All-Star break. Their guys were spry. They had juice. You give them credit. I told them we got to own this loss. So give Billy a lot for having this group ready.
Jacques, of all the things you guys would probably miss from Kevin and Kyrie, it's, their ability to get a basket whenever you really need one and just kind of heat up quickly. I mean, Chicago scored the first, 11 or so of the game. I mean, when you guys just can't buy a bucket now, is there anything you can kind of do to maybe facilitate the offense in a different way, or is it just a thing you have to kind of live with and work through?
And during that stretch, Alex, we got some good looks. The ball just didn't go in for us. And so that's going to happen again for us. And I think when we get in avenues like that as a team, you have to make an unselfish play. And so it might take you running from the corner all the way up to the top to set a screen. As a small, as a big, the multiple efforts everyone talks about on the defensive end of the floor. But for us, it's going to be multiple efforts on the offensive end of the floor. So I might be a decoy. I might just have to run into a play to create some sort of momentum for our group, and I might not get the rock. And we got to be okay with that. So it's the multiple efforts on the offensive end of the floor that we're going to have to work on.
And you look at the Boston game, that was the blowout earlier in the month. I mean, it seems like both of these, halfway through the first quarter, just kind of felt like, all the air was kind of out on your guys. I mean, how much of that do you attribute to them just kind of having a hot start, not being able to hit back and respond versus, some other factors?
I always do understand the human nature of this thing. When the ball's not going in for you, it is tougher to play defense on the other end when you're not scoring the basketball. So I give our guys understanding, but you know me, I'm always trying to have an edge mentally of not giving in to those opportunities when the ball isn't going in. Can you do something else to be an additional teammate? Can you do something else to give us advantage, whether it's boxing out Drummond and he goes over your back, something to give us a little bit to start a run. And so that's the mental edge we have to have as a group.
And you've always, since you've been talking about no excuses, no alibis, what have you. I mean, when you're down 50, that goes beyond a little bit of a talent deficit, though. I mean, that's clearly a mentality. I guess just how disappointing was it to see that lack of mentality and fight that you've been preaching since the day you took over from Steve?
Yeah, and it's really what I said before the game, is we really have to be the hardest playing team in the NBA. It's just, when we don't, this can happen, Brian, for sure. When we're not playing as hard than the team across from us. And I'm going to continue to work on the culture and the mentality that way, because I think that can carry now and going forward. I'm going to continue to challenge our guys that this is unacceptable as a group. I want them to own it and respond. But we have to create a mentality, a culture of not having an excuse and figuring out a way to get it done.
That was a much leader. Usually you're in here very quickly.
Yes.
And, we saw you walking in with your coaches to go in there. Was that something that you wanted to hash out with your coaches? Or was that something you wanted to give those guys in there time to stew on what just happened and start working this out for themselves?
It's a little bit of all of the above. Can I answer all of the above? D, is that D? I'll go D, all of the above. So I was looking at the analytic piece for a little longer than normal. So I took a look at that. I gave guys a little chance to unwind in the locker room and sit in it a little bit. And if they wanted to discuss it, they could. But I also was probably a little longer in what I said to them than normal, just because I am looking forward to how we respond. I told them to own this thing. We got our tails kicked, give them credit. So probably a little longer than I normally speak with the group, getting our plans together for tomorrow because of the early game in Atlanta. So I was doing a little bit of everything today.
Chuck, do you think maybe the reality of, Katie and Kyrie being gone and you guys are a new team, this is who we are, it's just kind of sinking in? Everything was happening so fast right before the All-Star game. You have a break and now people know this is the team we are and we have to figure it out? Or?
I do. The human nature part of it, guys, had a lot going on. And they had a lot going on before the All-Star break and during the All-Star break trying to get their lives in order. Okay, there you go. Now, lives in order. Now, it's time. And that's what we talked about, those 2 days of practice is it's time. There's no wasting. Like, if you have to speed up the process, then we got to work on speeding up the process. And so that's all of the above. That's your life. That's your responsibility. That's being part of the team. We need to speed it up.
Jock, the 29 first half points, do you attribute that slow start more to just lack of energy getting into some of the sets, or more so just some of the shooting variants that you touched on earlier?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a big piece of the shooting. Because with that group who starts, going into the game, I think their defensive rating was like 88, something crazy when those five are together. That's insane. And so for us to give up 30 points basically in the first quarter, it just doesn't add up. That's just not matching. So I didn't overreact with the guys. I said, I've seen these before in my career, going into the All-Star break and coming out of the All-Star break. We were a culprit coming out of the All-Star break. And so they had more juice. They flew around. They were more physical, more aggressive, all of the above. But we ended up being the culprit of coming out of the All-Star break not ready.
Thanks, JB.
Okay. All right, guys.
Frank, we just heard from Jacques Vaughn there. Before the game, though, he did say this, and I want to bring it up again here in the post-game show. He said, we have to lock in, and they have to do their part every possession.
Yeah.
It's getting lost in translation, especially in this game. And he also said they have to be the hardest playing team in the NBA, and they have to speed it up.
Yeah.
And he knows the urgency here. There's 23 games left. Right now, they're the 5 seed, but the Knicks are now just a game behind them.
Yeah, I also think that every coach is telling his team we need to be the hardest playing team, because only the hardest playing teams win an NBA championship. This idea that everybody cruises is nonsense. I think that's his way of saying, we don't have the superstar player that's going to be able to bail us out. Don't think the cavalry is not coming in. We are the cavalry. We have to try to make it work here. The one thing he did say, it was interesting about being on the All-Star break, come back ready to play, and he's giving Billy Donovan credit because the same situation, in fact, it's a worse situation for Chicago. They're trying to play their way into the play-in tournament. And the Chicago Bulls were ready to play tonight. And I think Jacques Vaughn looks at it as maybe in some ways he failed. I told my guys the same thing. You come back from the break, we got to be ready to play. They were not ready tonight. And if you have stuff going on in your life, whatever it was, the team practiced Wednesday, they practiced Thursday. Your responsibility is to go out there and play hard. And that did not happen for them tonight. It's one thing to lose. This game was over, essentially. By halftime. It's probably over a little bit earlier than that. And I think for Jacques Vaughn, you could tell he's angry. He's still not going to destroy his players because it's essentially a new group of guys, but it just has to be better for them. I was looking at some numbers. Think about this. The starting group went 12 for 42 and scored 34 total points. Zach LaVine alone in this game was 12 of 17, 32 points. So the starters on the Brooklyn Nets only outscored Zach LaVine by 2 points, and they had just as many field goals, and they took 25 more shots than Zach LaVine did. Terrible all the way around. Yeah. Just a really poor performance.
Unbelievable. Frank, we're going to step aside, take another break here on the Brooklyn Nets post-game show. When we come back, we'll hear from Mikal Bridges. That's straight ahead right here on Yes, and streaming, of course, on the Yes app. Baseball is back, and on Sunday you can log into the Yes app at 1 o'clock for exclusive coverage of the Yankees' first spring training home game. They're going to host the Braves at George M. Steinbrenner Field in the first of 13 Grapefruit League matchups we are going to bring you as the Bronx Bombers prepare for the 2023 season. Back to basketball now. Over his first 3 games with the Brooklyn Nets, Mikal Bridges was averaging 25 points per game. Tonight, though, in the game against the Bulls, he goes 4 for 10 from the field, just 13 points. Moments ago, here was Bridges with the media.
Mikal, just to start off, I mean, they have that hot start, and it seems like you guys just never really get in a rhythm offensively. What do you kind of attribute that first quarter to?
We just got to be, I don't know if y'all need this, but we just got to be better. Just starting the games, turnovers. That I know I had 2 early. Just the turnovers, man. Turnovers hurt. They just got out and they was running and they was making shots, so we was down early. But yeah, the turnovers kind of was a big thing, and they was scoring and they had their defense set. So we couldn't get out. We couldn't get stops because the turnovers kind of started off, but. That's what it is, man. Just in the beginning, we just gotta start games better.
I was curious. I mean, obviously, that was off to the wrong foot from the first 3-4 minutes. But this league back and forth, everybody gets runs. Was it mildly surprising to you that you guys couldn't really find your footing and kind of start to cut into that lead significantly?
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, we all thought, we never going to give in, and we just always thought we had a chance, but they just made it tough on us. We just, we just got to be better. We just got to, work on things. We're a whole new team. We just got to find our identity, and, it's tough. Like, I can make all the excuses in the world, but we just got to find who we are and just be better on both ends and find who we are on the offensive end and the defensive end.
Usually, Jacques is in here pretty quickly after games. We saw him take a little longer than normal, talking with his coaches, and then take longer than normal with you guys in there. What was, I guess, his basic message to you guys once he did get in there?
Is how are we going to react after this? Are we just going to fold, or are we going to get ready for the next one and be better. And I think everybody in that locker room is not going to fold, and we're all going to be better. Just starts with tomorrow. You know, you just got to learn from it, watch film, and try to figure out who we are and what we can do better, and get ready for Atlanta.
And when he did eventually get in there, he had said one of his reasons was he wanted to let you guys cool down after the game, and if anybody wanted to say anything, that give them an opportunity to do so. What were the loudest, I guess, voices in there amongst you guys?
I think there's all just, I think we all knew we just have to be better and all, just talking about the little things and how we got to be better on both ends. But, you know, everybody had a say in everything. We all as a unit just know that you can't play like this and we want to win, so you just got to be better.
Okay, you guys, between you, Spencer, Cam, you have guys who have, been key pieces in offenses in the past, but haven't necessarily been the lead man in an offense. Can you just talk about, is that process very difficult of kind of trying to feel out right now, where are we going with the ball in some of these spots? How are we kind of going to get the offense to flow and get some continuity going?
Yeah, I think, it's just the whole continuity thing. I mean, this is, our fourth game together, so it's tough. We played a couple games. We went on break for a week, so we didn't have a lot of time, and that's just what it is. Like, that's just any team. You just got to find time. But where we're at right now, it has to move a little bit faster. Time. We don't got time on our hands, honestly, because there's only 20-some games left. So we got to find who we are rapidly, and it's going to be a challenge, but that's how life is, man. We'll be all right. We just got to adjust faster than usual, and just get ready for our next game.
Frank, the last 3 games on the road have not been pretty for this Brooklyn Nets team, and they have to snap out of this and snap out of it quick with 8 of their next 10 away from Brooklyn.
Yeah, worrying about, trying to figure out who's going to be the go-to guy. That was a good story when they lost to Philly down the stretch. Mikal Bridges scored 45 points the last time he played prior to tonight. It wasn't, I get it, they didn't score enough points in the first half, but they also gave up 63. And this was, to me, more about an effort thing and the turnovers that they had and the bad shots that they were taking as opposed to who we're going to go to. It never really came to that point tonight. But you're right. Their last 3 road games, 43 points at Boston, they lose by 18 to the Knicks at Madison Square Garden, 44 tonight, and they were down 51 points. That has to be the concern. Yes, you need to get a win, but can you stay competitive in a game? Can the game be close in the fourth quarter so then we can see who's going to be the guy that they're going to have to go to down the stretch? And again, the starters tonight didn't do enough. The bench, I get it, late in the fourth quarter, guys were scoring, but that's going to happen in these kind of games. That's going to be the biggest concern for Jock Vaughn right now. And when Mikal Bridges talked about responding, that's a great thing. We're going to find out Sunday, because right now we don't know how this group is going to respond. They responded very well after the Knicks loss. They beat Miami, which was a great win. But now the schedule is only going to get tougher. Just look at those teams coming up. It's going to be very hard to find a win.
All right, Frank. Well, the Bulls end their 6-game losing streak. Our game was one of the 8 matchups on the schedule this evening as the NBA had its second night of play out of the All-Star break. Highlights from a few notable contests are on the way. Stay with us on the PostGame Show. Chris Shear and Frank Isola back here on the Brooklyn Nets post-game show. Seth Curry heated up, but it was too little too late for the Nets. He went 8 of 10 in the fourth quarter. Moments ago, he met up with our Megan Triplett.
Seth, when you look at this game, where did you see you guys lack, and what was the difference maker?
Right now, without watching the film, it just seemed like we couldn't create any offense. The majority of the game, we couldn't knock down shots when they're open. We couldn't get to the rim, to the foul line. So I think just offensively, we got to figure out, we got to get to know each other and just figure out different ways to score as a unit.
Jock told us that he gave you guys a minute in the locker room alone. What was just the overall message as a team?
Pretty positive. Just, what you're going to do, everybody in this locker room is pretty much a veteran. So, it's 82 games, and y'all learn from this one, move on, and put some work into practice tomorrow and get ready for Atlanta.
And Jock also told us that this game didn't represent the last 2 practices that you guys have had when it comes to your identity and what this team has done these last 2 days. what stands out to you about what this team can do offensively and defensively to get back to that team of playing the hardest?
I don't think it's a lack of a will. I mean, I don't think we played hard. We gave a lot of effort, tried to do the right things. It just got to figure out, like I said, we got to figure out each other, get to know each other, and just get better every single day. We got to work together to create offense as a team. And, I mean, it's kind of got a whole new group in this locker room, so we're figuring out as we go. A lot of different roles. A lot of roles have changed over the past couple weeks, so it's just part of it. A situation we're all in this locker room, and we got to do it together to get out of it.
Nets have lost 5 of their last 7, 3-5 since Kyrie Irving requested a trade. We're back with final thoughts right after this. And the Nets leave Chicago. They go to Atlanta. And Frank, 3 of their next 4 are on the road. And we were talking during the break. It hasn't been pretty on the road.
Their last 3 road games, they've lost by a combined 105 points. But to their credit, after they lost to the Knicks by 18, they came back and did beat Miami. This is different now. You're going on the road, a team that's responding to a coaching change. This is obviously a small sample size. But I'll be interested to see how the Brooklyn Nets respond after this terrible performance tonight. Quick turnaround. It's a 3 o'clock game in the afternoon. But to your point, then you come home and then you play Milwaukee. Then you have to go play the Knicks the following night. Then you got Boston a couple of days after that. The schedule's going to get very difficult. They need a win now.
All right, Frank, we're going to see if they can do that on Sunday and bounce back from this 44-point defeat out in Chicago against the Bulls, where they scored just 29 points in the first half, the least amount of points in the league this year in any half. For Frank Isola and the rest of our Yes Network team, I'm Chris Sheeran saying so long, everybody. We'll see you Sunday.